our channel. So this is Shruti, and today here in this video we are gonna deal with the reproductive health. So we'll be discussing about the reproductive health. Now what is actually a reproductive health? So coming to the reproductive health, it is a condition where you have the normal functioning of all the reproductive organs. Okay. So normal functioning of all the reproductive organs is referred to as reproductive health. That means all the reproductive organs which are there has to function normally. They have to be healthy to maintain the proper reproductive health. Now coming to the definition of reproductive health according to WHO, that is World Health Organization. Now what WHO say about the reproductive health? It is the normal conditioning of the body in all the terms. Okay, it is a normal conditioning of the body in all the terms, such as whether physically, mentally, socially, and the psychological. Okay, so the mental well-being has to be proper, the physical, mental, socially, and psychologically or economically, whatever is there. So the reproductive health, the normal conditioning of your body along with the physical health, mental health, socially and psychologically, the normal well-being is referred to as reproductive health. Now coming to the reproductive health, to maintain the reproductive health, in order to maintain the complete reproductive health, because there were conditions where you don't have proper reproductive health in olden days. So to overcome that, there were family programs introduced in India in the year 1951. There were child healthcare programs, okay? Child healthcare programs, reproductive healthcare program, family planning programs were introduced in the year 1951 so as to promote the reproductive health of the individual. Now due to this family planning programming and the reproductive healthcare or the child healthcare program, the reproductive health came to much more better, okay? Now, with the help of visual media, hearing media, processing media, several government or non-governmental agencies, they have promoted the awareness about the reproductive health. So, the sex education was about to be taught in the school so as to promote the awareness of the sexual education and the reproductive health. Once the sex education has been implemented, then there was a lot of different and there was a lot of awareness in the people when it comes to the reproductive health and the sex education. So there were various programs that were introduced to promote the reproductive health and also to make the people aware about the sex education. Okay, so there were things that were introduced was like the age, population, like at what age the certain reproductive health was there, what age the marriage has to be done. So these were the certain small steps which were taken by various government and non-governmental agencies in order to promote the reproductive health, in order to create the awareness about the sexual education. Okay, so this is about the introduction, how the reproductive health and the things are being needed. Now coming to the population. So, there was a time due to this reproductive health, there is a time where the population was increased from 2 million to 6 million. There was rapid increase in the population, okay, due to the more and more reproductive individuals, the rapid pregnancy, and so that led to the population increase 2 million to 6 million. The same was happening in the India, which led was the population was 350 million that reached to 1 billion. Okay, this was happened in the year 2000. So the population which was there 350 million that rised to 1 billion in 2000. So the same population was going on. Now these increased population. Okay, so the increased number of population, what it led to is the scarcity of basic food, clothes, shelter. So in order to protect and have a continuous check on the population, what the government has, the one child norm was introduced. So this was actually adopted by many of the individuals. So one child norm was introduced. There were age introduced, like 18 years was the legal age for the marriage, and the 21 years is a legal marriage age for the boys. So these things were introduced in order to decrease the population. Now why the population was being increasing? The decreased rates of infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, whereas the increase in the reproductive age individuals. Okay, so decreased infant mortality rate, decreased rate of maternal mortality rate. Maternal mortality is the pregnant women, so their death rate. Then infant mortality rate means the baby death rate. Then the reproductive individuals were getting higher and higher. So in order to have a check on this, there were certain steps which were taken. That was one child norm, ages were introduced, and there were certain methods called as the contraceptive methods were introduced in order to have a check on this population, so that the population can be brought under control. Okay, so this is the thing about the population. Now, in order to prevent this overpopulation thing, as I have told you, there were certain things. So one of those things is contraceptive. Now these contraceptives, what they do is they avoid the unwanted pregnancy, or they prevent the pregnancy, so that these contraceptives play a major role in the control of the population. Now there are different types of contraceptives. Now why the contraceptives? How they has to be? Now these contraceptives has to be eco-friendly. One thing, it has to be the user-friendly. It has to be easily available, affordable, reversible, and also it should has either no effects or minimum effects. Okay. So these contraceptives has to be easily affordable, user-friendly. It should has no effects actually. If there is minimum effect, even then you can use it. But you should see that it should has minimum effect, and it should have a high contraceptive value. That means when you are using it, you should get the complete benefit of it. And once these contraceptives, whatever you are using, you should remember one point, that contraceptives should not interfere with the sexual drive of an individual. Okay. So now coming to the various type of contraceptives. So you have natural, barrier method, intrauterine devices, oral contraceptives, injectables, and the surgical. Now coming to the natural contraceptives or the traditional. Now what happens in the natural contraceptive is, the couple, what they do is they prevent the sexual intercourse or the coitus during the period abstinence. Okay. During the period abstinence, they prevent the coitus. So what happens is, in the natural or the traditional method, the ovum and the sperms, they don't meet. Okay, they are being prevented from meeting. Okay, the ovum and the sperm are being prevented from getting meet, so that the fertilization don't occur, the zygote production doesn't occur. Now how they are prevented is, what the couples will do is they will prevent the sexual intercourse or the coitus during the period abstinence. Now what is period abstinence? Now these period abstinence is a period that lasts from 10 to 17 days. That is from your 10th day of menstrual cycle to the 17th day of the menstrual cycle. This is a period where there is a high chances of fertility. So this period is referred to as the fertility period. Okay. So here there is a chances, there are more and more chances of high fertility. So during this period, the sexual intercourse and coitus is avoided. So once this is avoided, there is no meeting of sperm with the ovum. Hence in this way, the pregnancy is avoided. Okay. So this is one method. Now naturally how pregnancy can be, how the contraceptive or the pregnancy can be avoided. The second is lactational amenorrhea. Okay, lactational amenorrhea. Now what is this? Okay, now what happens over here is, lactation amenorrhea is the absence of menses. Okay, absence of menstruation is referred to as amenorrhea. Now what is lactational amenorrhea is, right after the parturition. Okay, right after the parturition there is an intense lactation. Okay, now the mother will feed the baby. Now during the intense lactation, that means initially during the 6 months right after the baby, right after the 6 months of the parturition, the baby will have the intense lactation. As far as the intense lactation is there is no menses or the no menstrual cycle. Okay, as far as there is the intense lactation, there is no menstrual cycle, hence the pregnancy is being avoided. Okay, now this method is useful only up to 6 months, and this is effective only up to 6 months because there is an intense lactation only in the 6 months. Once the intense lactation stops, the cycle begins. So this is how the lactation will work, where when there is an intense lactation, absence of menstrual cycle occurs. So this is one method where you can see naturally how you can contracept it. Okay, so these are about the natural contraceptive methods. And there is one more method where the men's, what they do is during the intercourse, just before the fertilization, what the male partner does is he takes the male partner, just before the ejaculation, he takes away or withdraws his penis from the vagina. Okay, so these are 3 methods. One method, what I have told you, is during the period time or the fertility period, sexual intercourse is being avoided. And the second method is where male partner withdraws his penis from the vagina just before the ejaculation. Okay, just before the ejaculation, male partner will withdraw his penis from the vagina so as to prevent the meeting of sperm with the ovum. So in this way, the pregnancy or the conception can be prevented. Now the third process, I have told you, lactation area, where the mother will feed the baby. As far as there is an intense lactation, the chances of conception will be almost 0. Okay, so these are the 3 natural methods where you can contracept it. Okay, now coming to the barrier method. Now coming to the barrier method is, here also the ovum and the sperm are being prevented from meeting by using certain barrier. Now what acts as a barrier? Condoms acts as the barrier. Okay, now what are condoms are? These are thin rubber tubes made. Okay, these are thin rubber tubes, or they are made up of latex sheet. Okay, thin rubber tubes, or they are made up of latex sheet. This can be used by males or females. Males will wear this to cover the penis, whereas females wear this to cover the vagina. Now after this, what happens is the sperm or the semen is being prevented from entering into the female reproductive tract. Okay, so they are being prevented by these condoms from being entering into the female reproductive tract. One such condom is called as Nirod. This is the condom which is widely used by the males, as it provides protection and protection from getting contraceptive to several sexual transmitted diseases. Okay, it also provides a contraception. It also provides protection from being contraceptive to several sexual transmitted diseases. Okay, now coming to females, you have devices called as vaults, diaphragms, cervical caps. Okay, you have these vaults, cervical caps, which are worn over the vagina, and also diaphragmatic. Now these are the female condoms which are used by the females. Now these female condoms, they are being used with the jellies, foams, so that the effect of those contraceptive is maximum, so that these have the maximum efficiency. Okay, so these are about the barriers where condoms are being used. Now coming to the intrauterine devices. Now these intrauterine devices are actually being inserted into the body by the professionals, medical or the highly practiced nurses. Now there are different types of intrauterine devices. You have non-medicated intrauterine devices, which are loop-like. Okay, so non-medicated. Then you have copper releasing, which is CU7. Then you have hormone releasing, which is LNG20. So these are the different types of intrauterine devices. Now these intrauterine devices, they are also, what they will do is these, firstly non-medicated, what they will do is, the main function of non-medicated one they will do is, they will allow the semination, whatever the sperm is there, they will decrease the ability of the sperm, capacity of the sperm. Okay, so fertilization capacity is being released. and the copper, it will make these LNG20 hormone releasing. It will make the uterus unsuitable for implantation. Okay. So whatever the uterus is there, cervical wall will be there, that will get unsuitable for the sperms to get being there. Okay. So these are the things for the intrauterine devices, and these intrauterine devices are widely used by females. Okay. Now coming to the oral contraceptives. Oral contraceptives, here it is the oral administration of the hormone called as the progesterone. You can take individually progesterone or the progesterone with the combination of estrogen. Now these is administered into your body in the form of pills. These are highly effective. They have very less number of side effects. How these are taken is initially at the beginning of the first 7 days of the menstrual cycle. Okay. First 5 to 7 days of menstrual cycle, these pills are being taken and are continued. Okay, continue. Now during the period of menstrual cycle, that is with a gap of 7 days. Menstrual cycle lasts for 5 to 7 days, right? So after this gap, within 5 to 7 days, again the pills are being repeated. So these pills are continued till the woman or the individual want to have the contraception. Okay. So as far as female desires of these contraception, as far as the individual wants not to have the pregnancy, till the time the pills are being continued. Now Saheli is one such pill which is used once in a week. Now these pill has a really high contraceptive value with minimum or no side effects. Okay. So these are about the oral contraceptives. Now injectables and implants. Now injectable and implants, these are inserted into your body. Same again, these are of like oral contraceptive pills. They will have the content of progesterone or progesterone along with the estrogen. Okay. So these injectables and implants, why these are widely used is in case of unprotected or when you have immediate sexual intercourse, or in case of rapes, emergency kind of contraceptive if you can refer, then this is the thing where the injectable or the implant which has the content of progesterone or the progesterone in combination with the estrogen is being inserted into your body. So this will show immediately within 72 hours. Okay, within the 72 hours of sexual intercourse or the coitus, if this is being injected, this is really highly effective. And in case of emergency contraceptives, these injectables and implantations are highly used. Now coming to the surgical methods. Now surgical methods, you have the reproductive organs, where these is the termination procedure to avoid the pregnancy. Okay. So this is carried out in males and females as well. There is also called as sterilization process. Now in males it is called as vasectomy, because the vas deferens part of the males is being cutted and tied up, and incision is made on the scrotum. The incision is made upon the scrotum, whereas in females the fallopian tubes are being cutted and tied up, and the incision is made upon the abdominal wall or the vagina. So this is a procedure which is highly effective, but this is not being affordable. Okay. So these are the procedures where you can have the contraception. All of the methods are really high, really effective, where you can go. They have a really high technology, but contraceptives are not really good for the reproductive health. Okay. So these contraceptives are not a regular demand of your reproductive health. Rather, they are actually the disturbances being certain disturbances or the hormonal imbalance are being created by the repeated use of these contraceptives. Okay, so till here we are done with the contraceptives. Now coming to the MTP, that is medical termination of pregnancy. Now what is this MTP is? It is also called as induced abortion. Now induced abortion, it is what it is. So the end of the pregnancy is referred to as medical termination of pregnancy. Every year there are about 40 to 50 MTPs are being performed all over the world. Now why this MTP? Because there are several countries where they have religious, social, economical values, they have a debate. But now in India, when it comes to the India, in the year 1971, MTP is being legalized. So why this MTP is legalized is where you can prevent, you have want to have a final termination of the pregnancy, then you can go for this medical termination of pregnancy, where this MTP is being performed by the experts or the professionals. So this is done in 1971. Now Government of India has legalized this with certain conditions. Now those certain conditions are being made to avoid its misuse. Okay. So these MTPs are mostly or usually are performed by some unqualified people. So if once this MTP is being performed by unqualified people or by illegal procedure, that can be dangerous to the fetus as well as the mother, and that can also cause that can also harm the danger. It can be fatal. So these MTP has to be done, and in cases of like the determination of the sex of the child, so even that is illegal. In such cases, MTP is strictly avoided. So the next comes to the sexual transmitted diseases. Now sexual transmitted diseases are the diseases which are being spread through the sexual intercourse. So sexual transmitted diseases are like HIV, genital warts, genital herpes, hepatitis B, chlamydiasis. These are the various kinds of sexual transmitted diseases. Now all of these sexual transmitted, if they are detected early, can be treated and be cured, except the HIV and the hepatitis B. Okay. Now coming to the symptoms of the sexual transmitted disease, in order to have the early detection, you will have the sexual transmitted diseases will show itching. Okay, they will show itching, bleeding, discharge of the fluid, swelling in the genital regions. These are the certain symptoms of the sexual transmitted disease. Diseases I have told you. Now coming to the treatment part, once the diseases are early detected, you should take the immediate treatment, because these the sexual transmitted diseases can be the social stigma procedure. So as far as early detection is done, treatment has to be taken. If not, that it can lead to several other conditions like pelvic inflammatory diseases, ectopic pregnancies, stillbirths, and in certain cases it might lead to the cancers also. How the prevention can be done of these sexual transmitted diseases? Avoiding sex with the multiple partners. Then you can using of the condoms, that can also prevent the sexual transmitted diseases. Early detection, proper diagnosis, consulting a qualified doctors, that can prevent the sexually transmitted diseases. Now the next comes to infertility. Now infertility, what is infertility? It is a procedure, it is a process where the couples or the individual is not able to conceive. The inability of not able to conceive. Okay, so that is referred to as infertility. Now infertility can be overcome if there are certain infertility clinics where you can go. Now these infertility can be due to various reasons. It can be psychological, it can be physical, it can be mental, hormonal imbalance, stress, congenital, or several other diseases, or the effect of something. So these are the various causes of the infertility. Because of all these reasons, there can be any one of the reason for not being able to conceive. Now associated reproductive technologies, these are the technique. These provides the technique where one can overcome this infertility. They can again turn to the fertility and have a child. So what are the different types of ART technologies? We will see those. Now first is in vitro fertilization. Now in vitro fertilization, what happens is the suitable environment is not being provided in the mother's womb. So to overcome that, the fertilization is carried out outside the baby, that is in labs. Okay. So this is called as embryo transfer or the test tube baby procedure, where the female gamete and the male gamete are fused outside the body, and once it is the transfer is fertilization is done, then it is being transferred to a woman's womb, where you can get the suitable environment, and then the woman can conceive. The further procedure continues. Okay, so this is about the in vitro fertilization. Now coming to the ZIFT, that is zygote intrafallopian transfer. Female gametes are being collected and male gametes are collected. they are being fertilized outside the body. Now once the zygote is formed, that is being inserted into the fallopian tubes or the vagina of the female, where you can get the suitable environment. Then the procedure continues. Now coming to intrauterine transfer. Intrauterine transfer, after the gametes, once the zygote is formed, here in the intrauterine transfer, what is there is blastomere, zygote with about 8 plus blastomere. Okay, when you have zygote plus 8 zygote with the more than 8 blastomere, then the is being transferred to the uterus of the woman. Okay, so this is about this. Now in vivo fertilization, this is the process of fertilization that occurs within the female body. Okay, so this is about the in vitro fertilization, in vivo fertilization, sorry. Now this is GIFT, that is gamete intrafallopian transfer. Now what happens in this is your gametes are being produced, but they are not able to conceive. So in such cases, gametes are being collected and then again they are transferred to uterus or the fallopian tube. So in this way, again you have this procedure. Endocytoplasmic sperm injections. Now these occurs in males where they have a problem with the ejaculation or the decreased sperm count. So in such cases, the sperms with the semen are being collected and then they are injected into the female's reproductive tract, that is into the vagina. In this way, the fertilization occurs, then further procedure continues. Now artificial insemination. Here the semen is being collected from the healthy individuals and is being transferred to the uterus of the female. When it gets transferred to the uterus of the female, that is referred to as intrauterine insemination. Okay. So now these are the various techniques where you can overcome the infertility and experience the parenthood. But apart from all this, the best method to experience the parenthood is one method called as the adoption, where one individual can adopt, one can go for the adoption method. Now the government of India has also legalized this. So to overcome this infertility and to experience the parenthood, if one wants to go, then the adoption of a child is one such method where every individual can experience the parenthood. Okay. So with this, we have completed about the reproductive health, where we have dealt with the introduction, population, various kinds of contraceptives, then medical termination of pregnancy, sexual transmitted diseases, reproductive health, infertility, and the adoption procedure. So in the next video, we will deal with some other chapter.